Tim Carroll is the 2016-17 New South Wales Young Farmer Chair and the Chair of the Young Farmer Business Project Working Group. Tim is a mixed farmer and farm contractor from Carroll, New South Wales, who has studied a Bachelor of Farm Management at the University of Sydney. Tim has been a part of New South Wales Young Farmers Council for the past 3 years and has a passion for seeing the younger generation of farmers have a greater representation within the association. Peter was elected as Chair of the Young Farmer Council in February this year. He is a strong advocate for young farmer finance schemes and was critical in achieving outcomes from the Memorandum of Understanding signed with the Coalition Government in March last year. So please welcome Tim to the stage.
Thanks, Derek, and good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be up here and actually get an opportunity to talk to you. Derek's done a fair job on telling everyone who I am and what I've done, but I'll sort of just go on a bit further and let you know. I started out in the Central West. Succession planning for us was pretty ordinary. My father was one of 12 kids, so it's pretty hard to split a block up that many ways. So essentially, we just decided the best way to go ahead was to buy our own way in and to have a bit of a go. So I've done that on my own with the support of my family behind me. A lot of the younger generation of farmers are dealing with a bit of an issue now where it's always poor us, poor me. Let's feel sorry. So we're going to try and change that and lift the face of ag and make it a positive thing. In doing that, I tell my story a little bit now about how I've done it. I went to university at Orange Ag College. I spent more time there drinking than I did actually studying. But anyway, so I bought my first spray rig out of university, just a little machine, one that I could afford. And I started spraying 5-acre blocks, 10-acre blocks, 100-acre blocks. It just got bigger and bigger, and I've expanded my business now to 3 spray rigs, but it's a bit difficult when you're one bloke to drive 3 machines. I was doing a job actually for one of the partners of MSM Milling, and perhaps it was a good thing now, I didn't send a bill. I think it actually got lost in the translation somewhere, but he rang me about 3 or 4 months later and he said, I still haven't got a bill for that spraying job. I think you better come and have a talk to me. And I thought, oh geez, I've done something wrong here. And he said, a lot of people around town are saying how you've done your job and we're pretty happy with it, and I'd like to offer you an opportunity. And the opportunity is that I want you to take over and manage my block. I said to him that I wasn't interested in managing it, and I thanked him very much for the opportunity. He sort of, I think he was a little bit gobsmacked at the time that, you know, you offer something up and someone doesn't take it. But he rang me a week later and he said, well, what do you want? And I said, well, how about you give me the block, I'll do all the work and we'll go halves on everything in and out. He didn't even batter an eyelid, he just shook my hand and said, it's on. So I can sort of, anybody that wants to get into those stock feeds, I reckon they're the go. And if he's watching me on live stream, he's probably going to slap me when I get home. Anyway, so that's a little bit of my backstory. We trade a lot of sheep now, we trade a lot of cattle, we breed, we do a few different things. But essentially, part of the deal with this young farmer finance, which is why I originally came to New South Wales Farmers, was to have a gripe and say, well, what are you doing? And the young farmer coordinator at the time said, well, if you've got a problem, why don't you stand up and do something about it? So that's why I'm here. I put my hand up for the committee role and then ended up as the chairman this year. And we got a commitment last year under the Memorandum of Understanding for a round table discussion with the Minister, Noel Blair. So myself and 3 other young farmers went forward in November last year and had a bit of a discussion and came out with a really, really good plan, which is announced in February this year as a young farmer business project. And we've also got a business project officer by the name of James Lego. The idea of that working group is a joint venture now between New South Wales Farmers Association and the Department of Prime Industries. And Minister Blair will talk about that shortly. But essentially what we did, we find that quite often decisions are made without being asked first. So we went forward and just discussed a survey option, which we've sent out. It was out for a month and we got 509 results. Out of those 500 results, believe it or not, we had 50% female and 50% male, which is really, really good to see. That's in the young farmer category. So the snapshot of the survey came out, and the three biggest farm challenges for young farmers we're seeing now is access to finance, access to land, and succession planning. So it's something that we're all working forward to do. And as you can imagine, everybody's on Facebook and Twitter and things like that now, so a lot of our platforms will be online, and we'll go forward. We're establishing an online hub which creates a connect, learn and use opportunity for people. And essentially what it will do is give option for young farmers to be educated in a way to look outside their box, to think about different options other than just going straight to the bank for what they need. We're doing case studies, and I think actually my case study, my backstory will be the first one up. I'd say it needs a fair bit of editing because I'm pretty rough around the edges, but it'll be the first one up, and a lot of young people want to hear how you get into it, want to hear stories, want to see positive results. So that's what we're working forward. With that said, the New South Wales Young Farmers Committee have been working forward fairly strongly over the last 12 months, and we've put a number of different things in motion. We've got 5 branches across the state now, so we've got the New England Tablelands, Dubbo, Sydney Metro, Wagga and South West Riverina. And the idea of those 5 sub-branches is to create a more engaging opportunity for everybody so they don't have to travel. We would like to get the local district committees as well to encourage our young farmers to jump on board and have a bit of a say, which is something that we don't see a lot of at the moment. But we're getting there. We've still got the fastest growing membership category across the association, so that's positive. What we need to do now is find a way to maintain and keep those memberships. Throughout the regional metro areas, we're creating a lot of tailored events. We're doing forums, functions and things like that to engage the members, and that's working quite well. We've got the South West Riverina have just done an irrigation forum. We did a careers evening up at Armidale only last week, so it's happening. We're getting there. It's just a matter of being positive and making it work. We've got some collaborative agreements with industry as well. So the New South Wales Farmers, or Young Farmers essentially, is working alongside Healthy Aspirations, which is a rural health service. And the initiative is for future health leaders. We've got continuing involvement going on there. Last year we raised $25,000 for charities, Are You OK?, the Royal Far West and Battire. We're also in the process of working with the Victorian Farmers Federation, they're young agribusiness professionals, and we're just about to set up a second event down there. We sort of looked outside our state and sort of worked out who's doing what and how they're doing it to engage. And we found Victoria had a good policy, so we're sort of working with them quite closely now. We're doing a couple of border tours. So we jump the border and have a look down there, and they come up and we have a look up here. So essentially, we're looking forward now to continue working with the wider association. As I've mentioned a couple of times, we want everybody's help moving forward, but we want to be progressive. We need to see some new faces. We want to be proactive, and we really want to be positive, and we want to take that approach to industry. So thanks very much for your time this morning.